Hello everyone and welcome to my first post commentary on my YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing the LOE Division 2 Italian Grand Prix highlights. So right now, exiting the Parabolica, which I believe is turn 11 here at Monza, on to start the first lap of the session of any driver, as is my tradition, to be the first one out there on track. Now coming into the first chicane, braking just about the 100-meter board. Now I'm going to cut that curb and then not touch that one, and then shift up to third gear for the best traction possible. Not going to keep it all the way to the right side for curve de grande to get the shortest run to the turn 4-5 chicane and to the start of the middle sector here. We are going to do a low 25.8. I believe this is close, if not my best first sector throughout practice, having a little bit of oversteer there on the exit of turn 5. Now through Lesmo 1 and 2, turns 6 and 7, taking 5th gear there, and then down to 5th gear there, just a little bit of apex curb. Could have had a little bit better exit there. Now I'm going to keep it to the left and then swing it over to the right side under the bridge and out to Ascari for the third sector. In that middle sector, the doing 26 flat could have been a little bit better. And then Ascari turning could have been better, but everything, this is just a banker. I believe this lap is an 18.1. Have a little bit of time in that middle sector, just about 2.5 tenths, and now through Parabolica once again, shifting up to 6th gear to get the best run possible. Now cutting over to the right side to the start finish line in this third sector is going to be a 26.307. Have about 3 tenths on that, or 2.5, so I could possibly be going on to a 17.7, but we aren't going to get there in this session. But yeah, a banker lap in 18.1 is pretty good.
Solid banker.
That's my best banker by like 3 tenths.
Okay, now back for this second flying lap, or well, my second flying lap, or my actual fastest flying lap in this short qualifying session for Division 2 here, going through Parabolica with a minute 20 left in the session, cutting it over to the right side. Right now, currently in 4th place in this qualifying session, only needing to find, I think, 200s to move myself back up into 2nd place. 300s down already, now braking for turn 1, losing time in the braking zone, taking turn 1 and 2 pretty nice, gaining back some time, and then just having just a little bit worse traction than I did on my banker, losing time now through curve de grande in that first sector. This first sector, I believe, is going to be a 25.88, so 800 slower than my first lap. Now through turns 4 and 5, it was actually a lot nicer, not having that oversteer, hitting the curve on turn 5. Now down to 5th gear for Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. I do gain a little bit time there through Lesmo 1 and through Lesmo 2, just getting about 3 or 400s, and now going down the second DRS straight into Ascari. That middle sector was a 25.9, so we did break into the 29 or 25s for the middle sector. Now through Ascari, the turning was much better there for the first left-hander. Now up by a 10th, going down to Parabolica, purple middle sector for my lap here, a 10th and 100th up. Now going through the Parabolica, I believe we are going to gain a little bit of time here. Well, we lose a little bit of time on entry and then gain a little bit back on exit, and then going to do an 18 flat for 1 and go into P2, and that is where I'm going to be starting for the upcoming Grand Prix.
Oh my god.
It won't be for long. We know what we're doing. It will be like a couple of laps.
Ben put a fucking wet setup on just to be amazing in the start of the race.
It's a 30 second gap. Oh, fucking way.
Is it worth putting the wing up on
No.
Which one?
No. It's only like 7 laps or 8 laps.
No, I don't.
2 clouds, basically. 2 clouds at the start of the race.
So after that dry qualifying session, now coming into the race with the 5 red reds coming on right now in the intermediate conditions. As they go out, Slash and I actually get pretty equal starts. Now just having a little bit of a scare there on traction and opening up the overtake button. Gary's gonna send it around my outside there into turn 1. I believe we have a little bit of contact on the apex of turn 2 there, just on the inside, and then it's just about getting good traction here, because I know I'm pretty shaky in the wet conditions, I know from earlier testing from earlier in the season. So I'm just trying to keep it safe here, not even really focusing on Slash, because I know my fight isn't with him, and it's just going to be with the guys behind the pace that I can control. But I think eventually, later into the stint, and then when we pit onto dries, I've only lost like about a second and a half to the Alfa Romeo in MMA Slash. So I was pretty happy with myself in this 8 or 9 lap intermediate stint.
I'm like 50 meters. Was it raining as well?
So from about this point is when I really started considering pitting for the dry tires. I know here it's still kind of raining, but the track is starting to dry out, and the tires are starting to get faster, even though I did set a red middle sector. But we are going to ignore that. So right here, I believe Excel Gary behind me in AlphaTauri decides to pit for mediums on lap 5, going on to lap 6, and then I follow Slash, and I think I pit either lap 6 or lap 7, which would be this lap or next lap. For mediums, and I know the mediums should have a pretty good chance of making it to the end from lap 6 and 7. So as I said, I come in here on lap 6. I decided to follow Slash in to the pit lane to pit for medium tires. I heard from Gary and a few other guys that had already pit onto dry tires that some people had pit onto soft tires, such as Spag and Skyzy and the Mercedes. But yeah, I'm not too really worried about them because they're going to be doing one more stop from soft to medium, and then we're just stopping here to take the mediums to the end. But Slash in front of me, interestingly enough, goes onto the hard tires, so he's going to be slower towards the beginning here as Skyzy jumps me. But we should have a pace advantage right now. But he's going to be stronger towards the end of this race, so I know I have to get past him very, very quickly with Gary, especially right behind me, closing me down. So going into Parabolica on lap 9 here, just about to start lap 10 of this Italian Grand Prix. Gary is really closing me down. He's within half a second now of my car, and I'm just right up the ass of MMA Slash here, going down the pit straight. Gary's telling me that I really need to get past to try and pull away and get that DRS 1 second gap to Slash before his tires become better than ours. So yeah, I do that, and then Gary is now behind the Alfa Romeo. Gary should have a pretty easy time of overtaking Slash, but then just can't pull away, and I'm able to here with Slash and Gary battling, able to pull out that 1 second gap before Gary overtakes him.
Shit, Gary, you fucking guffles.
Okay, now exiting the first sector on lap 16, going through the turn 4, 5 and chicane, making a little bit of a mistake there. Gary has finally gotten into my DRS after passing Slash on lap 10, I believe. So keeping him out of my DRS really helped me because he needed to use his ERS to defend from Slash and to close up to me. But now, since he is in my DRS, he's just going to be able to save up his ERS, and then I think he passed me either lap 17 or lap 18. And then he is able to stay in front of me for the rest of the race. But yeah, already closing in 4 tenths or 5 tenths on this lap alone, and still hasn't dropped MMA Slash in behind on those hard tires. So we're really gonna have to look out for him behind.
Does Slash have a penalty or no?
Now going into Parabolica on lap 18, just about to start lap 19. Yeah. So we'd have 8 or 9 laps left of this Grand Prix. Trying to take the straightest line down towards the braking zone of turn 1, but using my overtake as well. Gary is just so fast, a straight line with the slipstream DRS and the overtake button. He's just going to brake later than me into turn 1. I'm going to try and use that curb and get the switchback line, but it's not going to happen. I'm just not going to have good enough traction. Having a little bit of a slide there with the rear tires. Now trying to use my overtake through Curve de Grande in the slipstream of the AlphaTauri in front, but Gary's using his ERS as well. As you can see, he's derating now down into turn 4 and 5. I tried to fight it back, but I really couldn't do anything about him overtaking me. He just had such an advantage with ERS and slipstream down into turn 1. Now going on to lap 23 of the Italian Grand Prix, coming through Parabolica here, still behind Gary. We did have a VSC, so I was able to just save up just a little bit of ERS, but I was just going to stay behind Gary anyways to save up ERS. Now looking behind to Slash, as he is really, really closing down into turn 1. He's going to send it on the brakes. I'm going to go deep on purpose, just letting off the brakes just a little bit of contact there on the front on the front wheels. They're having a little bit of a slide, as I did earlier on with traction. Now a little, or even more contact between Slash and I in the Alfa Romeo. But now I'm just using all the ERS that I was able to save up through the VSC period, and just behind Gary, sitting his DRS. Getting back past Slash, going into turn 4 and 5, and now trying to use all the overtake and field mixture that I can to get back into the DRS for the DRS detection point in between Lesmo 1 and 2, which I'm able to just barely, even with the fighting with Slash. Now coming out of Ascari on the second to last lap, just about to start lap 27. As you can see there, my rear left tire is absolutely gone. With tire wear almost, if not already, in puncture range. Using my ERS, trying to stay with Gary, but Slash is going to make the move down here into T1. I'm going to have to just let him go because I don't have the ERS to defend it, because Slash, at this point, Slash doesn't have a penalty, but Gary does have 3 seconds, and at this point, I also have 2 penalties, so I'm really looking behind to Backy because he doesn't have any penalties either. So I'm just trying to keep that 6-second gap to Slash's teammate Backy in behind. As you can see, that gap goes under 6 seconds because now I am behind MMA Slash. Slash on the inside here at turn 4 picks up his first and only penalty of the race. As you can see, cutting that corner just ever so slightly. But now Slash has to get past Gary on track, which isn't going to happen. So Excel Gary, his second race in Division 2, is going to pick up his first win of the season, his first podium of the season in his AlphaTauri here at Monza. And I'm just going to let you guys listen in to my reaction to losing my podium in Gary's first win of the season.
Don't say that when Gary's going into it first.
I need Backy to make a mistake, and it's not going to happen.
He's got no ARS left.
GG, Gary. I'm gonna fucking lose my podium. This is so...
Yes! Fucking go! We're fucking back!
Have you ever seen a more Man United fan? I don't think we have.
Yes! Fucking go!
GG, Gary.
That was so sweet. Let's go!
Mate, the funny thing is, if you'd have like listened to Packer and let him through, you wouldn't have won that.
Congrats, Gary. You got what you deserve from last season.
Well done, Gary. You went down to the championship and then won. Great job.
That was the sweatiest last 10 laps I've ever seen.
Oh my god. GG Packer.
Gary knows how Norwich feels every 2 years now.
No, you didn't get a podium. No.
Dylan, shut the fuck up.
It's not sarcastic. It's not sarcastic at all.
That's what you.
Right, lads. On other news, have you seen how good the new SBC is?
Yeah. Look how close I was behind Scuba.
Let's go!
0.071 behind Scuba.